Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam. I hope that you all had a Merry Christmas. And today I'm here with my brief thoughts on The Matrix Resurrections. This was directed by the Wachowski siblings. This is the fourth Matrix film, and it sees the return of Keanu Reeves and Kristen Scott Thomas, with new additions including Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Jonathan Groff, and Neil Patrick Harris, among others. Neo is back, played by Keanu Reeves. However, he has been returned to the Matrix. He begins seeing strange things. The woman that he once knew as Trinity, played by Kristen Scott Thomas, is someone different. Things are a bit off. He is approached and given the red pill by a new group of free minds, one of them including Bugs, played by Jessica Henwick, and Neo is back into his winning ways yet again. I haven't really talked about The Matrix on this channel, and I do want to make reviews of those someday. However, I will talk about my general thoughts of the movies right here and now, though I will have a more detailed review in a collab that I did with Brevon over at Brevon's Flicks and Games. I will have that video linked in the description below if you are interested. The original Matrix is fantastic. I think it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I've seen it so many times I can probably tell you the entire movie from memory. It's a movie that I would say is, if not perfect, close to perfect. It's a movie that's so good that its sequels were just kind of doomed to fail, and I think that's my feelings on The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions. Reloaded is good, especially the highway scene, and Revolutions is a movie that has its moments. However, the movies are bogged down by the Wachowskis and their varying philosophical ideas. They get in the way of what I think works about the movie. When I was watching these movies for the first time to prepare for the collab, I had gone into them knowing full well that they were seen as largely disliked by most people. But to be completely honest, I actually think they're better than people give credit for. The same thing kind of happened with Resurrections. I loved the trailer. This is probably one of my favorite trailers of the year, so going into this, I was excited. And then the reviews hit, and even from people that I trust and put a lot of stock into, were giving this negative reviews, so I was not looking forward to it. However, now that I have officially seen it, I can definitively say that The Matrix Resurrections, while not perfect, is far better than I was expecting it to be. Firstly, the acting is solid across the board. It really is hard to hate a movie with Keanu Reeves in it, though he has made some pretty bad movies in his time. He is good in this role, as he always has been. It's always nice to see Kristen Scott Thomas. When the two finally do get together, it is very nice to see. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II is good as Morpheus. While I will forever miss Lawrence Fishburne in this role, I did like Yahya here. Some of his eccentricities with Morpheus were a little weird for me, but on the whole I thought he fit into the role very well. Some of the side characters are good as well. The biggest surprise of all was Smith. I was not expecting what they were going to be doing with Smith. He's not played by Hugo Weaving this time. He's played by Jonathan Groff from Hamilton. I will forever miss Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith. However, I liked what they did with this character. I thought it was very good. I can't go into it without spoiling it, but let's just say that he and Neo have more than a few good scenes together. They do fight, and it is just as good as you think it is. I guess this is as good a place as any to talk about the action, because the action in this movie is still great. Like, say what you will about the Wachowskis, they know how to shoot them some action. Even in the original Matrix, which, again, I love, still has some pretty wonky CGI. In here, though, the CGI is actually ranging from good to great. From a visual and from an action standpoint, this movie is very good. The story part is where things start to go a little sideways. I can't talk about what I didn't like about this movie without going into spoilers. However, I feel like it's important that I do spoil it in order to talk about what I didn't like about it. So this is going to be a definitive spoiler section. Let's just say, just general stuff. I didn't like how meta the movie was. There's several inside jokes and references to memes as a result of the original Matrix being as good and important to the late 90s popular culture as it was. But the movie gets a little too meta for my taste. That's all I'll say in generalities. However, spoiling stuff, and if you want to skip this part, go to this time code. But here's what I didn't like about it, warts and all. The first 30 minutes of this movie are almost just genuinely unwatchable. The movie presents... It acknowledges The Matrix, the movie The Matrix existed. However, in this universe, The Matrix was a video game created by Thomas Anderson, and it was a really big hit. They hit that point over the head several times. They point out that at the end of the movie where Neo flies for the first time is Thomas Anderson trying to commit suicide. Yes, really. Neil Patrick Harris, who is the architect, is Thomas Anderson's therapist. Agent Smith is his business partner in creating The Matrix, the video game. And there are several scenes where the Wachowskis reference how everyone thinks the first one was amazing and the sequels were just a big letdown. Not to mention that Neil Patrick Harris's character goes into this whole "you people only thrive on negativity," and he actually says you people care about feelings over facts, because I guess the Wachowskis watched a Ben Shapiro video. Adding on to that the fact that Neil Patrick Harris's character calls people sheeple, because apparently people think it's 2015. You cannot convince me that The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions were not made in reaction to The Matrix's success. I feel like the Wachowskis made The Matrix, poured all their energy into that, and when Warner Brothers threw them millions upon millions of dollars to make more, they just decided to throw everything they had at it. Now, and this worked with about a 35 to 36% success rate. What makes this part so unwatchable is the fact that they are referencing that The Matrix actually... The movie The Matrix, not The Matrix itself. The Matrix movie. See, I'm confusing myself just talking about it. The Matrix itself, the movie itself, is a thing. Warner Brothers exists. And I guess the Wachowskis just one day while doing a quick internet search discovered comment sections on Matrix sequel reviews and took one trip to our memes and said, "We've got an idea." It's so inside baseball that if you have never seen the sequels, you would have no idea what these people were talking about. And if you did know, you would just cringe. At least I did. There were several times in this movie where I just wanted to walk out. I'm not kidding. Kristen Scott Thomas is not named Trinity in the movie. Her name is Tiffany, and she's married to a very rude individual whose name is Chad.
At that point, even God's going, "Do you get it?"
Wachowskis, I try and defend you every chance you get, but putting a really rude dude in here named Chad, that's just sad. It also doesn't help that if you read anything into the press for the movie, I believe it's Lana Wachowski who's saying that this movie was made to reclaim the red pill. I'm sorry, that red pill meme is so old and dusty that it's triggering my allergies. And that parlays into the social commentary, because it's all given to Neil Patrick Harris as the architect. I like Neil Patrick Harris. He is genuinely talented. Quick Neil Patrick Harris story from me. I was taking part in this thing called Night of Joy. It takes place at the Epcot Center at Walt Disney World. If you're in a choir, you can send in an audition tape, and if you get in, you can be a part of a mass choir that sings, Joy to the World and all of that, with a celebrity narrator who reads the nativity story. Well, in sophomore year of high school, my choir got in, Go Spruce Creek Hawks, and our narrator was Neil Patrick Harris. So I was about 2 arm lengths away from Neil Patrick Harris. It's kind of a lame story, but I was within spitting distance of Neil Patrick Harris. That's my point. And I'm a big fan of his, like I mentioned. He's the best part of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. He's great. But this character had so much go-away heat, it was crazy. One of my favorite parts of the movie is when Neil Patrick Harris has finally been foiled. Trinity and Neo are back, acknowledged the Matrix existed. They got on there all black. It's all great. And then they see the architect and, well, Trinity punches him out several times and even slits his throat. And every time, he would be brought back to life again, I would just be like, Trinity, can you please do it again? And when he did, or when she did, excuse me, I popped. I really did. I was just so angry with this character and the sheeple talk and how you people live in a society this all was. I nearly left my skin. That's how much I was cringing. The meta-ness combined with the social commentary it just angered me so bad that when the movie actually focuses up and focuses on actual Matrix stuff, it's actually really good. There's a kernel of a great movie on the level of the original Matrix. However, the Wachowskis just couldn't help themselves by acknowledging idiots and trolls who just want to take this movie's messaging the wrong way. And they felt the need to acknowledge that, which A, is just wrong, you never feed the trolls, and B, is just confusing for anyone who might be in on the joke or may not be in the joke in this case. Ultimately, though, this movie does have a lot going for it, though. It's good action, good acting. I like the main, gist of the story, and it's always fun seeing Neo and Trinity back together. However, the just level of need to, acknowledge, certain aspects of the discourse of this movie was just not good at all. However, I am going to give this movie a good rating, but on the very high end of good rating, almost a great. The bad stuff is bad, but thankfully, I found a lot of good in there. So I think, ultimately, The Matrix Resurrections is a good movie with some noticeably bad stuff in it. This is going to be interesting to hear, but have you seen The Matrix Resurrections? What were your thoughts on it? Leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. I'm going to be filming my 5 best, 5 worst, and 5 most overlooked or underrated movies lists in the coming days, and they will be released sometime during the last week of the year. Also, I've got a podcast coming out with my buddy Jacob Martin. It's going to be a new thing here on the channel. I will have more information on that as it comes. We've already recorded the first episode, so be on the lookout for that. And if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below. And if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.